Do you still remember the summer of 2023? The summer with Barbenheimar, Barbie plus Oppenheimer. Barbie received 8 nominations for the Oscars in 2024, and there were a lot of topics to talk about in this movie. Today, we're going to rewatch the movie Barbie and think about how it could represent, feminism and, female pregnancy. Hey, come on! The screening is about to begin! This is Cinematic Motif. Hello, I'm Wanson, a film critic and a content creator, and welcome back to Cinematic Motif, where I introduce you films in Taiwan and around the world. Alright, in case you've already forgotten the movie Barbie, so this is a 2023 fantasy comedy film directed by Greta Gerwig. We love Greta Gerwig. We love her from Lady Bird. But her big feature film Barbie was the one that, make her really into the commercial film market. So Barbie, starring Margot Robbie as the title character and Ryan Gosling as Ken, and the whole film follows this couple on the journey of self-discovery through Barbie Land and the real world following an existential crisis. Today we're going to rewatch the movie and think about some of the most important topics from the movie because I love this movie. And I would also mention a recent article that I read from a film critic that I love a lot here in Taiwan. And I think we can just get started. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about this whole plot of the movie. So basically, to follow the plot, Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in the seemingly perfect world of Barbie Land in this movie. But then, one day, they get a chance to go to the outside world, and they soon discover the joys and perils of living among regular humans. So there are a lot of things that they've started to think about as toys. For example, Barbie starts thinking about, am I a woman? Am I a woman that is treated good enough? And then Ken also starts to think about, wow, there is the patriarchy out in the outside world. Can I be the king of the world? Can we not just stay in the Barbie land, but more of in the Ken land? This is the plot of the story. What I love the most about this movie is the reflexivity of the toy Barbie. So we know that Margot Robbie is playing the stereotypical Barbie in this movie. Judging from the name, you know that there are lots of stereotypes about women on this particular toy. So it's basically Barbie the toy judging the Barbie the toy itself. That's why I say the reflexivity of this movie. And then also, they've been talking about how the pregnant Barbies, some particular Barbies were suspended in the history. And that's just interesting. This whole film starts with Richard Strauss's music piece called Also sprach Zarathustra, 查拉图斯特拉如是说. It gives us a very legendary feeling of this movie. It just gives us a sense that, okay, this movie is telling a very important legendary or origin story of Barbie. And we see a lot of political correctness laughing point. For example, you see the manufacturing company of Barbie, the Mattel, it is full of men. The whole management is men, okay? The whole management is not... There isn't a single woman. Women are only secretary. The only woman is a secretary in the company. So that's very sarcastic. And this whole film is talking about a utopian world or dystopian world, because we have a completely feminist world and a completely patriarchal world. And there's two different forces fighting each other. And basically, in the second part of the movie, we get to see the reverse world. That is a full Barbie land, a whole world full of women. But that might also cause problem. Basically, the film is talking about the balance of masculinity and feminism. That is the key. But I would say it's too much on the nose. Like, this whole discussion is just balance. I don't think it's a good solution. I think this is just an ending Greta Gerwig has made for this commercial film, okay? But what we were talking about are some of the points on the surface, but there are something more in the metaphorical meaning of this movie. We're going to talk about that later on the show, but first, let's play Dua Lipa and Dance the Night on Radio Taiwan International.
Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party running, I won't get out of place. Lately, I've been moving close to the edge, still be looking my best. I stay on the beat, you can count on me, I ain't missing no steps. Cause every romance shakes and it bends, don't give a damn. When the night's here, I don't do tears, baby, no chance. I could dance, I could dance, I could dance. Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party running, I won't get out of place. When my heart breaks, when my world shakes, I don't play safe, don't you know about me? I could dance, I could dance, I could dance. Even when the tears are flowing, like diamonds on my face, I still keep the party going, not one hair out of place. Yes, I can. Even when the tears are flowing, like diamonds on my face, yes, I can. I still keep the party going, not one hair out of place. Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away. I'll still keep the party running, I won't get out of place. When my heart breaks, when my world shakes, I don't play safe, don't you know about me? I could dance, I could dance, I could dance, dance the night.
Dua Lipa and Dance the Night from the movie Barbie, and today we're talking about the movie Barbie with some new topics to think about for this movie. Okay, we already talked about some of the topics on the surface, but now I want to go deeper. That is because recently I've read an article from a film critic that I respect a lot here in Taiwan. She's actually originally from Hong Kong, but she's now teaching here in Taiwan. Shout out to you if you're listening, Xuan or Rain, Chen Xuan. Okay, so Rain wrote an article about the female representation in this movie. I think there are lots of interesting points. 2 points very interesting I would like to share with you. And the original article is in Chinese, in Mandarin, so if you're interested, you can also go check out Chen Xuan's article. So, she talked about the calling back in this movie, calling back of past representation of atypical toys. For example, in this movie, not just the stereotypical Barbie, we have like the Alan, the character, the male character who is sometimes with the gay subtext. Like back in the time when Alan was produced, people thought that Alan is gay, might be Ken's boyfriend. So that is a little gay subtext. But back in the time, the society with Mattel, the whole company Mattel didn't want the society to think that Alan is gay. So Mattel redirected the whole Alan's story back to the heteronormative narrative. For example, giving Alan a wife, and then when Alan get married with the pregnant Midge, Midge was pregnant after the marriage. Okay, Ken and Barbie, they were the participants of the wedding. That's very interesting, right? So the company didn't want the gay subtext. The company wants Alan to be completely heterosexual. So Shen's point is that this movie is very smart. It's not bringing new representation to the film, but more of like calling back and bringing back those past representation in the production history of Mattel's toys, and to bring back these queer narrative and even some interesting or hidden narrative. For example, we talked about Midge, that is Alan's wife, right? Alan's wife, Midge, she was pregnant at some point, and then this was also mentioned in the film. Anyway, the company Mattel decided to stop producing Midge, because in their fantasy, Barbie or these toys should not be pregnant. They should not, well, reproduce kids. That's very interesting, right? You want a woman to be having all these feminine traits, but you don't want the woman to have kids. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, we'll talk about that later on the show. But anyway, this whole point about Alan and Midge is that this film is bringing back the repressed to unveil the non-mainstream narrative back in the company's history. So it's once again about the reflexivity of this movie. Very interesting. Talking about queerness, masculinity with Alan. It's just cool. Anyway, now, speaking of masculinity and Alan, let's play Ryan Gosling and I'm Just Ken here on Radio Taiwan International to give you a little vibe of the movie, bring back the feeling and the emotions, and we'll be right back on Cinematic Motif. Ryan Gosling and I'm Just Ken from the movie Barbie, and this song is really interesting. So back in 2024, it was surprising to see that two songs from the movie Barbie were both nominated for the Best Original Film Song at the Oscars, including this one, Ryan Gosling's I'm Just Ken, and the song that we're going to play later on the show, What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. In this track, I'm Just Ken, Ryan Gosling's performance really trying to, well, bringing Ken into, exposing Ken's desire to be the central character too. That's very interesting. Alright, so we were talking about Rain's article, how she was, discussing about the calling back, the return of the repressed character, and how this whole narrative to bring back the non-mainstream discussion and even to bring back the queerness, and even some, discussion about Mattel's own history of production, these toys. I mean, it's just a very it's a film judging itself. So that's why I love Barbie so much. And the other point Rain also mentioned in this movie is the ending of the movie. Okay, so I gotta say, at first, I wasn't satisfied with the ending of the movie, because the ending of the movie is basically talking about the balanced world. We don't give too much power to Barbie, we don't give too much power to Ken, but it's more of like a balanced situation between these two characters. But Rain's article mentioned something really interesting at the very end of the movie. That is when Barbie goes to the obstetrician and gynecologist to see the doctor. So this whole movie is basically about how this company is trying to add all these feminine traits onto the stereotypical Barbie, giving her all the female stereotypes. But Barbie is ultimately, at the end of the day, a toy, because Barbie does not have the ability to have a child. But at the very end of this movie, the director is bringing Barbie to the clinic to see the doctor about her reproduction ability, about the having pregnancy, going to the obstetrician and gynecologist. So basically, it's an act, a symbol of giving Barbie's real identity as a woman, making her finally a woman, a human woman, rather than a toy. Most importantly, Barbie goes to the clinic with the other girls in the movie. It's basically representing the shared experience of being a woman, and I would say it's also inviting the audience, especially the women audience, the female audience, also feeling the same thing, to resonate with the scene. Pregnancy is something that it becomes something that truly make Barbie a woman.
Taking a drive,
I would say Barbie is a great film, not just because you can dance and sing along to the movie, not just because it represents a great topic and even make itself a social experiment, and even judge the company which produced the toys, but also the brilliant production design of this movie. You get to see the beautiful world of Barbie Land coming to life in the movie, and that is the magic, I would say. Final song for you today is the one that won the Oscars for the best original film song. This is Billie Eilish and What Was I Made For? Thinking about, what was Barbie made for? What were you made for? This track is very touching, and I hope you enjoy it. And as always, if you've got any requests or feedback, do send your email to wanson@rti.org.tw. You can also follow me on Instagram and YouTube. My handle is @wansonscfe. I'm Wanson. Thank you for tuning in. I'm back next week.
when did it end? All the enjoyment, I'm sad again. Don't tell my boyfriend, it's not what he's made for. What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Think I forgot how to be happy.